Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. We have some big cows in our reading today. They're not cows, they are cattle. This is a Fehu reading, and we're going to talk about what your feelings of wealth and worth are. So each of these cows, each of these kine, each of these Fehu have a message for you about your wealth and worth. And this is not wealth like, it could be wealth like money, but it's more sort of your feelings of wealth. This is wealth that you tend, so it's not necessarily money. You don't have to feed money. You don't have to nurture money. So it's sort of like what lets you feel like you have worth. So each of these is going to tell you a message about your feelings of worth in the world. And so look at the beautiful kine before you and let one of them say, I have a message for you. And I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the reading. Bye. Hello, big light brown gray big moo. This is people who chose this particular cattle for your Fehu reading. So let's see what message this particular cattle has for you. Ooh, we're off to a nice beginning. Interesting. I'm reading with the willow runes today. I'm throwing down a few runes. One is going to be your central issue. One is going to be what helps. One is what led up to it. One is what didn't help, and what is your next step on the path. And I mixed those all up, but that's okay because we're all going to get to them, and it's going to be, I'm sure, crystal clear once we are done reading them. Okay, I'm going to move these up just a little bit. Reading on the plush. No stuffed animals were harmed in the making of this plush. This is pre-stuffed animal plush, so we have all the plush with none of the stuffed animal having been made out of it yet. So, what message does this particular moo have for you? This beef, this cattle, this Fehu. Okay, so our central issue here is, this is going to be a message about happiness. This is Vunyo, this is the rune of joy. Your question basically is about joy. And that's your main sense of wealth, is how happy you are. So what led up to this is you've been sort of feeling like going through a trackless period of time. Everything's been sort of woozy and wishy-washy, and nothing's really felt solid. It's sort of like you've been walking through mist. So here you are, you're like, well, I will feel worthy and of worth and with worth if I can be happy. So what will help in this point? Number one, you got to tune out the din of the crowd. We have manas, and it's reversed, and it's on the helping line. The crowd is just going to drag you down. So turn away from that. Also let go of things that no longer serve you. Go through, declutter, because that's actually going to help you know what about the crowd that you're letting go of this, you're letting go of that, and it's just basically declutter. Declutter in terms of the voices from the din of the crowd, and declutter of just anything around you that no longer serves you. And that's going to help you the most with getting in touch with this. The more this is clear, the more happy you're going to feel. What isn't going to help is basically whatever, the lower line is always the opposite of the upper line. So it's basically that to begin with. First of all, we have ansus, which is just talking to other people, is like communication, and sort of worried about, communication, and even if you can trust what you're hearing. And also just feeling like this is just going on and on and on and on and on. Just this endless on and on. Things don't seem to be moving forward, or they're moving forward much too slowly. And it's like the parable about the jar, and is it full? So you put big rocks in the jar, and is it full? Well, okay, yeah. And then you put the this is online, you can look this up. Either way, sand. at the end. If you put the sand into your jar first, you won't have room for the big rocks. And the big rocks are what basically like makes your life worthy and of wealth to you. So don't fill up with sand, which is like this. It's like there's no end of it. There's no end of sand. And this will actually make it so that you can't fit the important things. So you got to get rid of your sand. I mean, some sand is okay once you've got your big rocks in the jar. So that's basically what this is. It's like, you know, declutter, clear out a lot of the sand, make sure there's room for your big rocks, and listen to your own thoughts, to your own drummer. And what this will lead to is clarity. We have clarity and also a sense of stillness, like a sense of stillness in terms of this Isa, it's the ice rune. And it has to do with stillness, standstill, but also clarity. And I think I'm reading this more as clarity in this reading. So you're looking for happiness and how to be happy, because happiness is your sense of wealth. So tune out the din, get rid of things that no longer serve you, focus on what does serve you. It's like that does it spark joy? It's like, okay, well, that's sort of what we're looking at here. And then that will lead you to this state of clarity, and things will be a lot clearer, and that will help you be in touch with your happiness. So that is your reading from this particular big moo. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, moo number 2. This is the big brown and white moo. And I'm going to turn him this way, actually, because I'm going to be reading on this side of him. So this is your Fehu for those who chose the brown and white moo. And let's see what the willow runes have to say about your sense of wealth and worth and how to get to it. So that's interesting. Hi, Kitty. Kitty just came up beside me. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? Don't dismantle my filming setup. Oh, I know. That's Freya. Freya's little vocal cameo. Okay, so I'm going to move this up actually a little bit. For the big moo. So the brown and white moo. So for you, your sense of worth is actually connected to how well you can handle challenges, which is cool. Cool. We have Thurizaz reversed. Thurizaz is the rune of the challenge, and it has to do with thorn and gateway and giants, and it's reversed. So basically, this is like the harder the challenge, the better. If you can find a way to get through a challenge, that really makes you feel like really, really worthy. And that's your sense of like wealth and worth. Your personal sense of wealth and worth is that you can get through this, and it makes you feel really, really smart and strong and all the good stuff. And that makes you feel worthy. And what led up to this is we have Othala. Othala is the rune of the home and the homeland. And it seems to me like you've felt pretty much like stagnated. I mean, everybody this year, if you're watching it in 2021, if you're watching this in the same year that I filmed it, for the past year, we've been sort of stagnating at home for the most part. I mean, we've been doing things, but it's sort of like, we want to get out. So you're sort of facing this feeling of, it's like, I've been stuck at home. I want to get out and face challenges again. I want to be like living. So what will help you is we have Vunyo reversed and we have Kaunaz reversed. Now Kaunaz is the rune of expansion, things opening up, and it's basically the fire. It's like an ember that starts small and expands into something, a big blaze. But it's reversed here. So this, on the upper line where it's the things that are going to help you the most, is like focus. Like focus. Like, you've been sort of like now is the time to sort of like start honing your focus. And what are you honing your focus on? You are honing your focus on what, this is sort of counterintuitive in terms of like reversey, but you're sort of focusing on what you don't like. It's that joke about how do you make a sculpture of an elephant. You take a rock and you take away everything that doesn't look like an elephant, and that's sort of what you're doing here. You're sort of focusing on, okay, what is here that I don't want to be seeing, and sort of like removing the things that you don't want. At the same time, you want to focus on, this is Vunyo, again, Vunyo reversed is the joy rune. And Kitty's going to be having some food. And so you're also focusing on your inner joy. You're like turning your focus deeply inward to focus on your deepest, most inner joy. And that's going to inform when you look around, turning your focus outward to pick off all the things around you that, okay, well, you know what, this doesn't belong. I don't like this. This does not spark joy, et cetera, et cetera. So what doesn't help is, and this just makes sense basically based on what we've already read. You know, you've come from a place of you feel like you've been stagnating. What doesn't help is continuing to stagnate and feeling like there's no hope and nothing in the future. We have the blank rune, and we have Isa. Isa is the rune of ice and standstill and being stuck and frozen. So now is the time, now that you've had this realization, it's like, you know what, I only really feel worthy to myself when I have a challenge to do, when I have something that I have to do, and when I have something that I am facing that is a challenge. And the harder the better, because it makes me feel alive. So what doesn't help is continuing to, and the word that I've read recently, which applies to a lot of the people who've been sort of stuck in quarantine for the past year, is languishing. This is not, you're not going to feel any better if you just continue to let yourself languish is the word that we're looking for. And this is basically going to make you feel worse, and you're not going to feel like you got anywhere with this, and you're going to feel like you're still stuck at home. So if you focus on your deepest joy, and also turn your focus on what you can weed out of your life that doesn't bring you joy, that's actually going to help you get back into the challenges. And what this is going to lead to is we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of heart and water and emotion and intuition. It is reversed on the path line. I'm seeing this, I'm going to read this a couple ways. One, you're going to feel a lot, like your emotions, I think, have been an issue, and I think this is probably why this has been sort of upheaval. You've been feeling like there's a lot around you that you have been unhappy about. But I think what your next step is, you're going to be able to actually get on top of. You're not going to feel as moody once you're actually getting things done, is basically the thing. Once you're actually focusing and taking action on the things that you want to do, this becomes your challenge that you've been looking for, and you're going to be able to breathe over the surging upheaval-y emotions that you've had to deal with, which have sort of felt like, why is this happening? And it's because you're languishing and you're like feeling like, give me something to do. So you're going to be able to get on top of that, first of all. And second of all, this is going to help you connect to your inner, like your deepest inner heart, and also to be able to view, I'm getting like seeing your emotions as though in an aquarium. So you're not so much affected by them, but you're able to watch them swim by and go, okay, well, there's my feelings of grief, okay, and oh, look, there's my feelings of guilt going by, or whatever. You're going to be able to actually view them instead of having them beat you up. So you're basically going to be more on top of that, and that's actually going to help as well. So that is your Fehu reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Highland Moo people. We have a Highland cow. That's not a cow, it's a bull. We have a Highland bull. So I'm going to turn him over so that I can read on this side of him. So people who chose the Highland cow, Highland bull, as your Fehu, let's see what reading this bull has for you about your sense of wealth and worth. Interesting. Alrighty. So, you know what? I'm going to throw down a couple more just because, and I bopped the camera. Hopefully everything is okay. Interesting. Okay. So your sense of wealth and worth is tied into Highland cattle people what you can bring through into the world. We have Yira. Yira is the rune of the year. It's the rune of the harvest, and it's the rune about time, how much time has passed and how much time there is left. Mostly it's about the harvest, though. So your sense of wealth and worth is tied very much to what you can bring through, your fruits of your labors, kind of thing. So that's, first of all, your main focus of what your sense of wealth and worth are. What led up to this, first of all, is you've felt like you've been going through this big winter. This is Isa, it's the rune of ice, it's the rune of standstill and feeling frozen. So you've really felt like the ground's been frozen and you haven't been able to bring much through. So you're feeling like, I want to bring through things. I want to have a harvest. I want to get back into bringing things into the world. So what helps here are represented by Algi's reversed and Gebo. So Gebo is the rune of the gift. It has to do with an exchange. It's always an exchange, but it often also has to do with agreements and decisions and goals. So setting a goal and having an agreement with yourself to work on the things that you work in your field. So whether that is gardening or whether that is writing or painting or creating or building or whatever you do that brings things through into the world, and whatever way that could be. I mean, that could even be like helping people. That could be, something that you can see in the world once you've done it, like the fruits of your labors. You can see the accomplishment in the world and you can go, okay, well, you know what? Because of me, this is here. And so set an agreement with yourself, like make a goal that this is something you're going to be working on, and that will help you the most. And what helps that is we have algaes. This is the rune of the elk. In North America, we call this a moose. And it's reversed. So this is the rune of protection and support. This says that you are very much able to support yourself. You're very much able to stand up for yourself and make your own decisions and make your own protection and support yourself. And this helps you know exactly how to make these agreements with yourself to work on this and to set yourself time to do this. So what doesn't help is we just saw these recently together, I think. No, we didn't. But we saw this one recently. Hagalaz is the rune of chaos and the uncontrolled uncontrollables. So, these are all you in control. These are very much in control. These are things out of your control. You don't know what you don't know. Anything could happen. Things are wide open. And also, because of this, there's always the chance of chaos happening that is going to throw you off. Sudden weather that is going to hurt your crop. And so that can even, whether this is a thing that is going to happen or whether this is you worrying about a thing that's going to happen, this could drag you down. So in order to keep your focus on what you need to make you feel worthy and wealthy in the world, you need to bring yourself back to remind yourself that I do have I have an excellent way of supporting myself. I am strong. I am able to stand on my own, and I have made this decision and agreement with myself that I am going to work on this. And what this will lead to is we have Nauthi's reversed. Nauthi's is the rune of need. It's the need fire, the 2 sticks. It is reversed, but it's on the path line. So it's basically saying your next step after working on this part is to really, really, really tend your needs. And this is, it's the whole thing about tending. There's a lot of wonderful agriculture things now that we've got Yira on the table. So tend your acre, basically. What you have access to tend that is your needs. Make sure that that's in order. As soon as you've got that in order, everything else will start falling into place and you'll be good to go. So addressing this and getting your focus on this and making this decision will show that the first thing you're going to do is tend your needs, lay your ground, do the editing you need to do the tidying you need to do. And this will actually help you towards feeling much more wealthy and worthy. And that is your Fehu reading, Highland cattle people. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.